Welcome to Joliet, Illinois, for the first time this season, as we just are about to start here in game 1 of 3 and game 1 of 6 on a 6-game road trip here between the Joliet Slammers and the Evansville Otters. Well, the Otters ended up winning the series against Washington in yesterday's ball game. It finished with a final score of 10-3, and now the Otters are now 1 game back of Washington in the standings, as it's a close division matchup here. Now moving out of the division into the West Division here in Joliet, moving a little bit north as the Otters look to take another series. They ended up dropping both games against Joliet in the series they played at Bosse Field, and see if we get a little bit more luck here on the road. This is a 3-game series here at Dooley Health and Care Field before we head to Gateway and play 3 against the Grizzlies. Then we play 3 at home against Sussex County, and then it's the All-Star break. It's a it's coming up. It's coming up very soon, and it is hopefully going to be a good All-Star break. Hopefully the Otters get a good amount of All-Stars this season. I feel as though it's deserved. The Otters have the best offense in the league so far, at least in terms of batting average. They're first by a decent margin, hitting .311 as a team, which is kind of wild. Well, let's recap yesterday's matchup. The Otters ended up scoring 1 in the second, 4 in the third, 4 in the fourth, 1 in the 5th inning. Ended up leading 10-1 at one point. It ended up being 10-3 after Washington scored 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, but there was a lot of good hitting, especially from the top 5 guys in the lineup. Marcos Gonzalez had 3 hits. Logan Brown had 3 hits. Blake Robertson reached 3 times. A couple of home runs were hit. A lot of 2 RBI hits, as usual, as we take a look at the Otters bullpen right there. Starting pitcher for the Otters today is Garrett Simpson. Garrett Simpson is getting the start today against Ryan Daly for Joliet. Should be a good little matchup here between these two squads. Joliet right now is 20-26 on the year. They just dropped their last game against the Lake Erie Crushers by a score of 3-2. They scored 1 in the 9th, but were not able to complete the comeback as Brandon Sittinger got the save there. Joliet started off the scoring in the first inning. They scored 1 in that frame and then ended up giving up a run in the 4th and the 5th and the 8th to end up going down 3-1. As mentioned, scored 1 in the 9th, but could not pull off the win against Lake Erie. So they're now 20-26 as we take a look there at Caden Morton, one of the newer signings for Joliet, who didn't even play in the series against the Otters because he was not on the team yet. So we'll see how he fares in his first series against Evansville this season. Joliet has not played a home game in a very long time. The series which started, the road trip that started in Evansville was a 9-gamer. Joliet has not been back at home in a hot minute. They were in Evansville, then they were in Washington for 4 games in 3 days, and then they were at Lake Erie. So they had a little bit of a long drive back to Joliet last night. See if that affects them a little bit here. The Otters had a 5.5-hour drive to Joliet, and that was this morning. So hopefully everybody's awake and ready to go. for the first of a 3-game series between the Otters and the Slammers. The Slammers are actually, so far this season, a better road team than home team. 11-12 on the road, more games on the road than at home, considering 9-14 here at home. And they're 5-7 against the Central Division. As the starting lineups are introduced right there, there's Landon Williman, Ryan Wiltsey, and Mark Black. New jerseys, specialty jerseys for Joliet being worn not only today, but for the entire weekend, as Joliet is going to be honoring Independence Day all weekend in this series. July 4th tomorrow, as we celebrate America's 250th birthday, and then they have military appreciation on Sunday. They're going to have those jerseys auctioned off as well. But that is not until the end of the weekend. As they introduce the players here at Dooley Health and Care Field, the Otters are looking to get their first win against the Slammers this season. The other 2 games, the Otters ended up losing to Joliet. Their offense was not doing too well against the Joliet pitching staff. They ended up losing 5-1 in game 1 of the series, 6-3 in game 2, with John Ponder, who's not in the lineup for the 3rd straight game, driving in every single run in that series. Drove in 4 runs, and hopefully he's going to be back soon. I've heard he's dealing with an illness. Ryan Daly, it's his birthday. They just announced that. Didn't know that until right now. So Ryan Daly looking to pitch a quality start, get the win on his birthday. Otters trying to get the win here in game 1 and win their 3rd straight. We'll hit the anthem on the Otters Digital Network. We'll be right back.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare of arms bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, send our greetings, my first time, and the home of the brave. Independence, you can get it done, folks. Let's go, Slammers! That's how you pick up your teammates. Like, we're going to pick up the Slammers today, right?
Ready to go here for game 1 of 3 between the Otters and the Slammers. Ryan Daly getting the start here. He has a 6.02 ERA, 46 1/3 innings. This is his 24th birthday. He's pitching with those America First uniforms. Stars and stripes on the sleeves. Looks like an eagle across the center as well there for the Slammers. They're going to be wearing those this weekend. The Otters are wearing the blue jerseys so far this season. The Otters are 6-7 in those jerseys. One in the white jerseys. They're now 4-1 in those. Ryan Daly has given up 47 hits, 31 earned runs, 17 walks to 43 strikeouts. Let's take a look at the lineups. First, for the visiting Otters, it's Sam Linscott leading off yet again. Amani Jones behind him. Dennis Pierce, Logan Brown, the 3-4 hitters. Marcos Gonzalez hitting 5th at third base. Blake Robertson in right hitting 6th. LG Castillo Cohen Wilbanks and J.J. Cruz, the 7, 8, 9 guys, as Wilbanks is doing the catching. J.J. Cruz is at second with Amani Jones at short. T.J. Salvaggio getting the day off today. Now ready to go here at exactly 6:35 as the first pitch is inside for ball one. Our umpires for today, Jacob Waldrop behind the dish calling the balls and strikes, with Jordan Alfonso at first and Mike Love at third. That one's also a ball. It's 2-0 to Linscott. Linscott batting in the leadoff spot for the third straight game. He's coming off a back-to-back 2-for-5 days. So that one's high for ball three. Linscott is on a 6-game hitting streak. 2-for-5, scored a run yesterday against Washington. Called a strike. Linscott has 4 multi-hit games in his last 5. The one game he didn't have a multi-hit game, he hit a grand slam. That was on Tuesday. Fouled away 3-0 to 3-2 here against Ryan Daly. Linscott only played one of the 2 games against Joliet, went 0-for-4 on June 23rd with 2 strikeouts. 3-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. The 3-0 turns into a strikeout for out number 1 to lead off the first inning. That'll bring up Amani Jones, who is on a bit of a tear as of recent. He's also on a 6-game hitting streak, coming off of a 3-for-5 day yesterday. 3 3-hit games in his last 5, including 2 in the series against Washington. Puts his total 3-hit games to 5. Called a strike, and it's quickly 0-2 here against Jones. This is an offense that was very much struggling against Joliet's pitching. So there's a foul ball. It's going to get out of play into the lawn area. There's a couple of lawn areas, one in right field, one in left field. The one in right field has a couple of very nice trees over there. Some people living amongst the foliage over there in the turf, and it's 1 and 2 as got a turf field here. If you see those lines, if anybody watching on Home Team Network here, you see those lines in the dirt, they play soccer here, so that's what that is. Jones stays alive as he fouls one back. Amani Jones, 5 multi-hit games in his last 6, 16 total, as he is one of pretty well almost everybody on the team with a double-digit multi-hit games. Ground ball back to Daly. Looked like it bounced off his chest, but he'll recover, throw to first in time for out number 2.
Now batting the first baseman, number 10, Dennis Pierce.
8 guys on the Otters roster with double-digit multi-hit games. Dennis Pierce is one of them. He's got 15 of them. Leader is Logan Brown with 17. First pitch called a strike. Pierce has a homer in his last 2 games. Also has 2 RBIs in his last 2. Fouled back to the netting, and it's quickly 0-2 here against Pierce. Daly trying to throw a 1-2-3 first. It's looking a little shaky early on in terms of the location, going 3-0 against Linscott, but since then, it's been doing quite well. There's a ground ball, diving, and off of the glove of the second baseman, Cerny. It's going to get into shallow right field. So Pierce on the board. He has his first hit of the day, and the first hit of the day for the Otts. Man on first with 2 outs for Logan Brown. Well, Andy McCauley deciding to use all his lefties today. Logan Brown, Blake Robertson, Cohen Wilbanks, and J.J. Cruz all out there hitting from the left side, as well as Amani Jones, the switch hitter. First pitch misses for ball one. Logan Brown now hitting .371 after another 3-hit game. Outside, and it's 2-0. Logan Brown had a 4 for 5, 2 for 5, and 3 for 5 day in the 3-game series against Washington after missing the entirety of the Florence series when we were at Thomas More. 3-0. Called a strike, and it's 3-1. Walk would put 2 on with 2 outs for Marcos Gonzalez. There isn't really an easy out in this lineup. Swing and a miss, and it's 3-2. Time called by Logan Brown. The defense for Joliet, Beeman, Morton, and Barry. The left to right field, Patrick Ward, Battipaglia, Tyler Cerny, Cam Sudo, third to first, with Dahlberg doing the catching. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and Ryan Daly strikes out 2 in the first inning. Gives up the single, but no advancement from first there. Scoreless frame for Daly, as we'll hit the bottom of the first, no score on the Otters Digital Network.
It's Spikes and Jailbird. Let's make some noise for Spikes and Jailbird. They are riding in style thanks to my friends at Beaver Creek Golf Carts. You want to ride in style like Spikes and JL? Check out Beaver Creek Golf Carts at their location on Rowell Avenue in Joliet, Redwood and Main Street, or in Peru. You can find them online at beavercreekgolfcarts.com. I'm not getting good with them now. They're coming around with some ticket upgrades next inning. Now's the time to make some friends. Come on, Rocky.
First inning brought to you by the Mesker Park Zoo and Botanical Gardens. Visit the Mesker Park Zoo at 1545 Mesker Park Drive in Evansville, Indiana. There's Garrett Simpson on the mound for the Otters today, as he is coming up for what is start number 9 of the season. Last time out, he didn't technically get the start. He was a reliever, technical starter after the suspension of the first game of that series in Florence in the first inning. He pitched 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, struck out 4, gave up 2 homers, but still earned the win. As the Otters have won the last 7 starts for Garrett Simpson. That goes all the way back to May 19th against Gateway. First pitch a little high for ball 1. Ian Battipaglia leads off here. Little outside, and it's 2-0. Defense for the Otters, Castillo in left, Linscott in center, Robertson in right, third to first, Gonzalez, Jones, Cruz, and Pierce, with Wilbanks doing the catching, as that one is just inside for ball 3. First batter of each half inning here in the first have started on 3-0 counts. That one's called a strike. It's 3-1. Simpson at a 4.91 ERA, 40 and a third. He's won He's gotten the victory, at least, in 5 of his last 6 starts, going back to his first professional victory on May 24th against Windy City. Fly ball into right field. Robertson is right there, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Let's take a look at the Slammers lineup. We saw Battapaglia. Tyler Cerny's now up. Blake Berry behind him. Jackson Valera, the DH, in the cleanup spot. Cam Sudo at first, batting 5th. Patrick Ward at 3rd. Then Jackson Beeman in left field. Ivan Dahlberg making his professional debut as catching. And Caden Morton, the 9-hitter, in center. So that was line foul. Almost hit somebody in the Slammers dugout. 0-1 here to Cerny. Another one fouled back. Oh, nice catch out there by a fan. Decent crowd here at Duty Health and Care. One of them ended up catching a foul ball in the suite in the second deck. This is a pretty big stadium here, capacity of 6,016. Looks like a minor league stadium. 1-2 to Cerny. Yesterday against Lake Erie, went 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. A little outside, it's 2-2. Garrett Simpson had his first professional start against Joliet. That was last year on June 21st, 2025. There's a fly ball into left field, and Castillo isn't able to make the grab. Trying for 2 is Cerny. Throwing to second base is not in time. Bit of a Superman dive there from Cerny. Take a look at the replay here. Look at that. Went full body on the line to get that one as he has a double. He's at second base with 1 out for Blake Berry. First pitch, a little high for ball 1. Berry hitting at a .312 now in his 34th game, has 48 hits, 10 doubles, 10 homers, 44 runs driven in. Going way outside. Wilbanks able to keep it from going past him. 2-0 here to Berry. Berry .312 with a .391 on base. Slow roller back to Simpson as he'll toss it to first in time for out number 2. Advancing to third is Cerny.
Number 14, Jackson Valera.
Garrett Simpson in his first professional start against Joliet, 3 1/3 innings, 7 earned runs, 9 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Ended up taking the loss there. But now it's a feel as though it's a completely different Garrett Simpson than what we've seen previously. First pitch is just outside for ball 1. Runner at third in Cerny after his double. Cerny had a good series against the Otters at Bossy Field. Went 3 for 9, drove in 2 runs. Called a strike, and it's 1-1. Valera .310 now in his 37th. 1 for 3 with a double in his last game. He's doubled in his last 2 games, includes 2 doubles on Wednesday. Had a good series against Lake Erie. So that one's outside for ball 2. Ground ball up the middle into center field, and that will bring in a run. Jackson Valera puts Joliet on the board first here in the first inning. And it is 1-0 Slammers in the first.
Now batting for the Slammers, first baseman number 22, Cam Suda.
Well, Joliet did score in the first yesterday against Lake Erie. They ended up losing that one 3-2. They only scored 2 runs in total in that game, so just 1 run, not too big of a deal. Still a lot of game left. Cam Sudo up with a runner on first and 2 outs. Sudo has raised his batting average almost 20 points from last time we saw him, up to 344. That came after a great series against Washington. Back-to-back 3-hit games on June 27th and 28th against the Wild Things. Ended up having 3 in total in that 4-game series, including a homer in back-to-back games. Had a bit of a hitting streak going as well until yesterday, in which he went 0 for 3 against the Crushers. High fly ball into center field. Lynn Scott moves in, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So Joliet gets the lead. Jackson Valera drives in Tyler Cerny from third with a base hit. And Joliet, with an early lead, 1-0, will hit the second on the Otters Digital Network.
That's right, you want to get a little closer to the action than you are now. Get loud, get pennies, get Spike's attention. If you're in the last row, you could be in the front row. If you're in the front row, you could be. That's right, pitching is the answer. By the end of the year, everyone's on board. I got no thumbs up, but I know you're with me. There's the throw to second, and we're back to baseball. Now batting, third baseman, number 2, Marcos.
Top of the second inning, Joliet up 1-0. Marcos Gonzalez takes a strike from Ryan Daly. There was scoreless first. Ended up striking out both Lynn Scott and Logan Brown. Gave up a single to Dennis Pierce, but nothing further. There's a fly ball into left center field. Beeman and Morton. It'll be Morton to make the catch for out number 1. That'll bring up Blake Robertson, 1 out here quickly in the second inning. Robertson's off to a very good stretch. Has a hit in his last 8 games, 2 for 3, 2 RBIs yesterday against Washington. That hit streak started on June 23rd against Joliet. Went 1 for 1, couple of walks. Overall, 2 for 4 in the series with a double and 3 walks. 0-2 to Robertson, just outside. Swung on and missed for strike 3 as Robertson goes down swinging. Third strikeout already for Daly. And LG Castillo will stand in. 2 quick outs here in the second inning. LG hitting at a 342. Got a hit in every game of the Washington series, but it was a 2 for 5, a 1, or it was a 1 for 4 and a 1 for 5. Didn't play in the first game. Popped up foul. Quickly 0-2 against Castillo. Daly already has 3 Ks on the day. They're 1 2/3. 0-2 here. Check swing, and he did go around that strike 3. 4 Ks for Ryan Daly. 2 strikeouts in both the first and the second inning. As we will head to the bottom half of the second after a very quick top half. 1-0 Slammers on the Otters Digital Network.
All right, my friends, it's time for human bowling. I know what you're thinking. Isn't all bowling human bowling? Not like this. We've got our contestant Joey down there trapped in a bowling ball. And a special treat if Joey is able to roll himself to a strike. Section 102 will be winning a ticket prize from Lucky Strike. Joey, you ready? We think that's a thumbs up. Take it away. Let's cheer him on, everyone. Here comes Joey right down the gut. A no frills, no English approach, just like I bowl. Straight down the middle. Here we go. Boom, there it is! And the somersault while in the bubble, section 102, you winners. Thank you to Joey and Lucky Strike. We'll be handing out some of those vouchers.
Bottom of the second inning, it's been a very efficient couple of innings for Ryan Daly, as Garrett Simpson gave up a run in the first inning, made it 1-0 Joliet. Now back out for the second. It was the RBI single for Jackson Valera that brought in Tyler Cerny from third. It'll be Patrick Ward, Jackson Beeman, Ivan Dahlberg to lead off the top of the second here against Simpson. Trying to keep the deficit at 1. Patrick Ward leading off here. First pitch grounder over to short. Amani Jones is over there. His throw to first is in time for out number 1.
Now batting for the Slammers, left fielder, number 7.
Well, this is only the fourth time that Amani Jones has played shortstop this season. Usually just moves over there when Salvaggio gets the day off, with JJ Cruz over at second. That has been the usual switch when Salvaggio gets I guess a pretty rare day off, because he doesn't really get too many of them. Jackson Beeman taking strike 1. 0-1 pitch is a little inside. Beeman 1 for 3 with a double yesterday against Lake Erie. Got a hit in every game of that series, including a homer in the first 2 games of the series. Drove in 5 runs. Another one inside. It's 2-1. Now, Beeman had a rough series against the Otters at Bosse Field. Went 0 for 8 with 6 strikeouts. Fouled back. Makes it 2-2.
Another pickup by Benji. Oh, he wants to hear you.
Well, Garrett Simpson has had a very nice turnaround after a pretty slow start to the season. In May, he had a 6.05 ERA. June, 3.86. Had a fantastic June. Hopefully he's going to keep up that pace into July. A little outside, and it's a full count 3-2 against Beeman. 18 walks, 30 strikeouts this season for Beeman. A strikeout in 3 of his last 5 games. Has no walks. Another foul tip. Well, on the high home cam, you can see a little bit easier as well in that camera. There's a couple of just weird colored dots on the field from the soccer games going on. And it from up in the press box, they look like cones, but they're painted on. Fly ball in a foul ground. Dennis Pierce running after it, and he will not be able to make the catch. Got up the netting. So Beeman will live to see another pitch here. Otters ended up winning 10-3 yesterday. Couple of back-to-back 4-run innings brought them over the top. Good pitching against a Washington offense that put up 23 in the first game of the series. As that's called strike 3. So Beeman goes down looking, first K of the day for Garrett Simpson, and that is out number 2 in the second inning. So this is the professional debut for Ivan Dahlberg. We got a couple of extra cheers. I think his family is most likely here. First pitch called a strike. Dahlberg just signed today. In a corresponding move, a couple of guys got moved to the 60-day. Tyrai Barchik and Donovan Smith. He was signed as well as a pitcher for Joliet. So that one is fouled away. Ben Beering was the other signing for Joliet today. The Otters also made a move today. They signed a former Otter back to the squad. Nate Wolgamuth is back. So hopefully we'll see him today. He is active and is ready to go tonight if needed. A little high. And Dahlberg is first AB as a professional baseball player. Spent this season at Northern Illinois, the NIU Huskies. As that one's called strike 3. Back-to-back Ks looking for Dahlberg and Beeman. And Garrett Simpson gets a 1-2-3 second inning. Both pitchers 1-2-3 frames in the second with 2 strikeouts. As we'll hit the third. 1-0 Joliet on the Otters Digital Network.
Presented by Milano Bread. I know, why are they here? Russ. Thank you, Milano Bread, and some of the best bread throwers we could find. She did an American Idol style competition for who could throw bread the best. These are the winners. Boy, did they chuck it. Of course, if you're here next year, we'll be doing a lettuce toss. In 2028, we'll be throwing tomatoes. 2029, it's mayonnaise. If you come here for a decade straight, you got yourselves a free sandwich.
Third innings brought to you by Precision Pest and Wildlife. Every great team brings precision to the field. We bring it to your home and business. Call 812-993-3341 or visit precisionpestwildlife.com. Let's elevate the standard together, as that's called a strike to Cohen Wilbanks, who leads off. Wilbanks didn't play in the first series against Joliet, so this is his first game against the Slammers this season. Last year against Joliet, went 1 for 4 with a couple walks and a strikeout. Up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Cohen Wilbanks continues a very hot stretch offensively, as he now has a hit in 6 straight games.
Now batting second baseman at number 17, JJ Cruz.
Well, something seems to be seriously clicking for Cohen Wilbanks, because he is having a fantastic stretch here. Played in 1 game in the Washington series. He went 3 for 5. That was after a multi-hit game with a double on Sunday against Florence. And then on last Friday, the 26th, he hit that grand slam. So fantastic stretch of baseball being played by Cohen Wilbanks. JJ Cruz fouls one back. He's quickly down 0-2 in the count. He has not played since the 27th. He went 0 for 3. Hitting at a .220 now in his 24th game. Only played in 1 game of the Joliet series. Came in as a pinch hitter on the 24th and struck out. He doesn't have a base hit since June 18th. Foul tip into the glove for strike 3, and that is 5 strikeouts now for Daly. Out number 1 in the top of the 3rd.
Now batting center fielder at number 5, Sam Linscott.
Sam Linscott getting the Sam I Am treatment here at Slammer Stadium. Grounder over to third, throw to second for 1, and ooh! I think Cerny got it lost in the lights, or the sun, as I think he got hit in the face with that throw. That'll head into center field. Both runners will advance to second and third. Hopefully Tyler Cerny's okay. That throw hit him right in the face. Don't think he saw it. The sun was right in his eyes. And now we'll have a trainer come out to check to see if Cerny's all right. The error will put runners at second and third. Linscott's just kind of standing behind them, I'm sure. He's happy with the result, but not too happy that it resulted in one of the guys getting injured. Just a very unfortunate play right there. Still is on his feet. I think he's trying to sort of talk his way into staying into this game. It looks like he will. So Tyler Cerny stays in the game. And there's runners now at second and third with 1 out after the error for Amani Jones. I think the scorekeepers are still trying to kind of figure out what to call that. I would be confused too. I would say it's an error, an E4, unfortunately, on maybe a fielder's choice. I don't know. It's weird. Fielder's choice, and the error is going to be charged to Cerny. So adding a little bit of insult to injury there, as he does get the error that advances both runners to second and third. Little inside, it's 1-1 to Jones. Grounded out back to Daly in his first at-bat. Chance to bring in the first run of the day for the Otters. Ground ball over to first, scooped up by Pseudo. He'll tag the bag for out number 2, but a run comes in from third as Cohen Wilbanks scores. And the Otters have tied the game up at 1.
First baseman number 10, Dennis Pierce.
That's all you really can do is just get that grounder and score that run from third. And he is able to do so. Now 2 outs. Go ahead run 90 feet away in Sam Linscott as he advanced to third base on the grounder. Dennis Pierce. First pitch called a strike. Pierce got the first hit of the day for the Otters in the first inning. 1-for-1. Little inside check swing over to first. He did not go. Makes it 1-1. Wilbanks singled to lead off the frame. Ended up coming around to score that tying run. Both teams 1 run, 2 hits. The air charged to Cerny. Fouled back to the netting. 1-2 to Pierce. Daly already has 5 strikeouts today. It's been the majority of the outs he's recorded so far today. Little high. 2-2 to Pierce. Daly giving up his first earned run of the day, up to 32 on the season now. Grounder down the third base line, foul. Ryan Daly's 24 years old today. So happy birthday to Ryan Daly. He's from Plainfield, Illinois, which is just down the street from here in Joliet. This is his second season with Joliet after playing with him last season. 2-2. Fly ball into shallow right field. Pseudo Cerny Berry. It will be Pseudo to make the catch for out number 3. Well, the Otters tie the game up, though. The RBI ground out from Amani Jones ties things up at 1 apiece, heading to the bottom of the third on the Otters Digital Network.
Our hero of the game. Please turn your attention to the field. And let's hear it for Blake and Emma Serks. Major Blake Serks from Lawrence, Illinois, is a double board-certified physician in the United States Army. He is currently stationed at Joint Base Lewis McCord, Madigan Army Medical Center as a pediatric infectious disease physician. He has 2 combat deployments in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom and has provided medical support for operations across the globe. His daughter, Emma, is a heart warrior. Emma was born at Walter Reed with a complex heart defect, and after 4 challenging open heart surgeries, she is with us here today. A sweet, sassy, and inspiring preteen. Let's hear it for Blake and Emma Serks.
Bottom of the third here in Joliet, as we had a nice little heartwarming moment to celebrate our hero of the game here in Joliet. So just starting to warm up is Garrett Simpson. It is Caden Morton leading off, 9-1-2 Battipaglia, and Cerny, the other 2, leading off here in the third inning. Garrett Simpson through a 1-2-3 second inning, couple of strikeouts looking to Jackson Beeman and Ivan Dahlberg. Not the type of first at-bat you want if you're Dahlberg, especially because that pitch was not necessarily in the strike zone. But either way, Dahlberg has a lot more opportunities to get his first pro hit, and he is a very good defensive catcher. We'll talk about him a little bit later. For now, Garrett Simpson will look to throw a scoreless third and keep the game tied up at 1 here, facing off against Morton, who is a new-ish signing for Joliet. Now, not the newest because of the 2 guys that just signed today, but he's only played in 3 games. He was signed on June 30th for the Lake Erie series. In that series, he went 1 for 5 with a homer in his first game, and then 2 for 4 in his second game. Yesterday, 0 for 4 with a strikeouts.
And we are back to baseball.
Only 2 lefties in the lineup for Joliet, Blake Berry and Dahlberg. So if Dahlberg wasn't signed today, they would only have 1 lefty in the lineup, and it's kind of how it's been for Joliet. Not too much lefty hitting. Nice to have a lefty catcher, though. Fireworks going off here. A day early, but still going off. Still daytime, so I don't even know where they're coming from. I just hear booms, and I'm assuming they're fireworks. 0-1 check swing grounder down the first base line is foul, and it's 0-2. I don't know if you can hear them on the broadcast. They're very, very close together and quite loud. I have a headset on, and I can hear them pretty well. 0-2 from Simpson. Grounder up the middle, ranging is Jones, scoops it up, throw on to first is in time. Good play from Amani Jones going to his left. And that's out number 1.
Shortstop, number 18, Ian Battaglia.
That'll bring up to the top of the lineup, Ian Battaglia. Well, when Battaglia was playing against the Otters at Bosse Field, he was nearing the end of his 19-game hitting streak. It actually did end in the second game of the series. He went 2 for 4 in both games of the series. 4 for 8, 2 doubles, a walk, and a strikeout in that series. That 19-game hitting streak ended the day after against Washington. Still hitting, though, at a 301, 45 games. Flew out to Robertson in right field in his first at-bat. First pitch a little inside. 2-1. 25-year-old from Cheshire, Connecticut. $16 multi-hit games on the year. 13 games, though, with multiple strikeouts. So he is prone to the K. He's got 50 of them this year. So that one misses for ball 3. Leads the team in a lot of categories, including strikeouts, but runs, hits, triples, walks, stolen bases. That's all he leads in. Speaking of walks, walk number 35 is issued, as Battaglia will take first, and that will also include the leader in stolen bases. So he has been known to take a base or 28 on the season.
Number 12, Tyler Cerny.
He's 28 of 31. Tyler Cerny ended up getting hit in the face with a throw from third base, but stayed in the game. Runner goes on the first pitch as it's fouled back to the net. 0-1 as Battaglia will head back to first base. Well, if Battaglia steals second, Cerny's hitting at a 278 with runners in scoring position this season. High fly ball into left field. It's going to veer away foul into the lawn area. So quickly down 0-2 is Cerny. Some more people populating the lawn area over in left field. Over in right, it's a little less. I don't think the trees are really attracting people. A couple of bushes in left at the lawn. The foliage is very oddly placed. I'll say that much. Throw back to first is not in time. I don't know. I feel like they're just bushes. It looks like someone just plopped them down there. 0-2. Runner goes yet again. Grounder past the dive of Gonzalez into left field for a base hit. First to third is Battipaglia as the throw goes into second base. As Tyler Cerny is now 2 for 2 today, and he continues to hit the ball well against Otters pitching. 2 for 2, doubled in the first, came around to score. Now the single. And Blake Berry with a big chance here to give the Slammers the lead back here in the third. I feel as though Tyler Cerny is the Jeff LaCorey of the Slammers. Just does not like getting out against Otters pitching. Doesn't like doing it. Oh, 1 here to Berry. Little low. Blake Berry also had a good series, though, against the Otters. 5 for 8, hit a homer, drove in 4 runs. That homer was in the first game on the 23rd of June. High and away, makes it 2-1. Berry with runners in scoring position, hitting .353 on the season. Grounder down the first base line, foul, and it's 2-2. .353, 12 for 34, has 2 homers, 5 walks, and 6 strikeouts when runners are in scoring position. So runner at third, Battipaglia. Cerny's over at first. Only 1 out here in the third inning. I think Cerny's bat broke. He's going to get a new one. Sorry, Berry. Berry, 12% walk percentage, 11.4% strikeout rate. Pokes one foul. That's going to hit one of the windows in the suite area. Hopefully these windows are sturdy because there is a lot of them and they are very, very susceptible to getting hit with foul balls. They're just right over the netting here. Netting goes all the way to the foul poles here at Dooley Health and Care Field. Another 2-2 is ripped down the line. That's a fair ball. It's going to get all the way into the right field corner. 1 run will come in. Rounding third, coming around is Cerny. Throw goes into second base. And Blake Berry, a 2-run double. And the Slammers take a 3-1 lead here in the third inning. Now Blake Berry also continues to hit well against Otters pitching. And the Slammers take the lead back. It's 3-1 here in the bottom of the third. Jackson Valera brought in the first run of the day for Joliet. In the first inning, brought home Tyler Cerny. Now Cerny's scored 2 of the 3 runs today. Little low. For Berry, that's RBIs number 45 and 46 on the year, as he leads the team in both RBIs and homers with 10. Only guy in double digits. Fly ball into center field right at Linscott, who makes the catch for out number 2.
Now batting for the Slammers, first baseman number 22.
The 2 outs here for Cam Sudo. Runner on second and Berry after his 2 RBI double has broken the tie yet again here. First pitch called a strike. Sudo flew out to Lynn Scott in center field in his first at-bat. That ended the first inning. Now 0 for 7 against the Otters this year. That one is called strike 2, lower half of the zone. Sudo 37 strikeouts on the year. Only 18 walks. 0-2. Grounder over to third. Gonzalez throw on the run to first is in time for out number 3. Joliet scores 2 more. They lead it 3-1 as we will head to the 4th on the Otters Digital Network.
A celebration of World Soccer be without a little juggling competition. We got 2 contestants lined up on the left side of the diamond. We got Eleanor and Corinne. They're going to do a little juggling competition. Whoever can keep the ball in the air the longest wins. You two ready? All right, we got Kendall now. Anyone get set, juggle. You can start back up again. Start back up again. Keep going. Go for it. I can't officially say it's extra points if you hit an otter. I don't think I'm allowed to say that, but otters, I wouldn't know. You guys are both doing great. This is hard. I'll give you about 10 more seconds. Let's see who can juggle the most in 10 seconds. And he will get 3 hits in a row. Folks, we're going to call them both winners down there. It's a tough task.
4th inning here as Joliet has retaken the lead. Blake Berry's 2-run double ended up giving Joliet the 3-1 advantage after the Otters tied the game in the top half of the 3rd. It's Logan Brown leading off against Ryan Daly, then Marcos Gonzalez and Blake Robertson. 2 runs, 2 hits. And the Otters find themselves down 2 now. First pitch swung on and missed by Logan Brown. Ended up striking out swinging in the first, the second of 5 Ks for Ryan Daly so far today. Fouled away off to the left side. Foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. And 0-2 here to Logan Brown. Daly kicks in, fires a fastball high and away for ball 1. Daly last season was at Illinois, a Fighting Illini before signing with Joliet. Last year with Joliet, a 3.65 ERA as he strikes out Logan Brown for the second time. 6th K for Daly, and that's out number 1 in the 4th.
Now batting, third baseman number 2, Marcos Gonzalez.
Marcos Gonzalez, his second at-bat, is first one is called a strike. He flew out to center field in his first at-bat. Daly 6 strikeouts already. His season high is 10. Grounder back to Daly, bounces off the glove, but he will recover easily and toss it to first for out number 2. This is the 4th game for Ryan Daly in which he's struck out 6 or more. Last one was just a couple weeks ago against Florence on the 19th. Blake Robertson was one of those Ks. First pitch called a strike. Daly at Joliet last season, 3.65 ERA, 56 2/3 innings, 17 walks compared to 45 strikeouts. He pitched 1 game against the Otters, and it was his worst game of the season. He threw 5 innings, gave up 6 earned runs, 10 hits, both of those season highs. And he ended up earning the loss on August 16th against the Otters. 1-2 here to Robertson. Just outside, and it's 2-2. Last year, Daly had 2 scoreless outings. Both of them were 6 innings. One was against Gateway, and one was against Tri-City. So that one's fouled away. That's hitting another window in the suite. 2-2. There's a base hit into right field. Blake Robertson now has a hit in 9 straight games. As hit number 3 for the Otters today is B-Rob's single. Continues his season high hitting streak. That will bring up LG Castillo. Runner on first, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. First pitch low and away. Daly had a 8.69 ERA in 29 innings with Illinois last season. Fly ball into deep right field. Going back is Barry. He's at the wall. We're tied at 3. LG Castillo ties the game back up with his 4th homer of the year. Silences Slammer Stadium. And an opposite field homer, 362. Otters right back in it. Back at 3-3. Cohen Wilbanks now up after the 2-run shot, and of course, happens to be with 2 outs in the inning. Otters are just such a good 2-out hitting team. For Castillo, now 10 RBIs with 2 outs this season. Wilbanks up with the bases empty and 2 outs. A little low. Bit of a shorter wall out there in right field, where the wall is the shortest. Castillo got it over the leap of Barry in right field. That's a grounder down the third baseline, foul. 2-1 here to Wilbanks, who singled in his first at-bat, came around to score the first run of the day for the Otters. 2-1. Inside for ball 3. Well, Wilbanks has the highest walk percentage on the Otters roster, 17.7%. So he has very good plate discipline. Another grounder down the line. 3-2. Wilbanks has raised his average all the way up to 224 with this good stretch. Should get even higher after that single. And a nice at-bat here as he stays alive, fouls another one off. Another payoff is inside for ball 4. Another great at-bat for Cohen Wilbanks, as he will take first on the first walk issued by Ryan Daly today. We're going to have a mound visit here. Pitching coach for Joliet is Tyler Martin. He'll come out to have a chat with the entire infield as well as Daly, as we'll take our first look at the out-of-town scoreboard. You know it. You love it. Quebec is in Gateway, playing the Grizzlies. That's a really weird matchup. Quebec is on that western road trip. Washington is beating Schaumburg 1-0 in the 4th inning. That's a pretty good matchup there. Mississippi is beating Florence 3-2 in the 3rd. Tri-City has scored 5 in the 1st inning. They lead at 5-1 over Brockton. 2-1. Lake Erie is up on Windy City in the fourth. Down East scored 12 runs in the third inning, and they lead it 13-3. Oh my, what happened here? 12 runs? Well, yeah, okay. Ottawa's tied with Sussex 1-1, and New York's beaten Troyes 5-2. First pitch swung on and missed by J.J. Cruz for strike one. 12 runs in the third inning. That is crazy. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of a deep dive into that inning. One and two here to Cruz. Rip back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Banks into second base. The last four Otters have reached here with 2 outs.
Now batting center fielder at number 5, Sam Linscott.
So 2 on with 2 outs. Sam Linscott will try to be the 5th straight guy to reach with 2 outs. As more fireworks begin to fly. First pitch is called strike one to Linscott. Linscott, he's 0 for 2. Ended up reaching on a fielder's choice after the error. And it brought him to second base. Didn't end up scoring, though. He was stranded at third. Swings and misses. It's 0 2. Banks at second. Cruz at first after his base hit. 0-2 from Daly. A little outside on the fastball. 93 there. Otters trying to take the lead here. Go ahead, run in scoring position. Grounder over to third, but it's going to be left of the white line. Well, that was a big one. A big old boom out in center field. Linscott with runners in scoring position, hitting at 346. Not too many guys not hitting well with runners in scoring position. John Ponder hitting 531. There's a base hit that's going to get down into left field. Rounding third, coming around to score is Will Banks, and the Otters take the lead. Sam Linscott brings in the go-ahead run as the Otters lead it for the first time today.
Number 12, Amani Jones.
J.J. Cruz with 2 on, 2 outs. Over at second. Linscott at first. Amani Jones takes an inside ball. One 0 grounder over to first base, flipping back to Daly, who will step on the bag for out number 3. As the 3-1 will finally end the top of the fourth, but the Otters bring in 3 runs. The 2-run homer for LG Castillo, the RBI single for Sam Linscott. Put the Otters in front 4-3, heading to the bottom of the fourth on the Otters Digital Network. Fourth inning is brought to you by Sheet Metal Workers Local 20. For 138 years, Sheet Metal Workers have led the way in sheet metal industries like heating and air, architectural, industrial, and more. Visit smart20evansville.com for more information. Well, the Otters scored 3 runs in the top of the fourth, and they now lead it 4-3. Garrett Simpson pitching with the lead for the first time today. As leading off is Patrick Ward in the bottom half. It's Ward, Beeman, and Dahlberg are the top 3 here. Simpson trying to throw another scoreless frame. First pitch is fouled away off to the right side. Running after it is Pierce, but he'll run out of room. Well, so far when leading off an inning, Ward has gone 3 for 15, hitting at a 200. Grounder into right field and a base hit. Make it 4 for 16 now. Hitting 250 as he leads off the fourth with a single. Now that'll bring up Jackson Beeman. First pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. Beeman ended up striking out looking in the second, the first of 2 Ks for Simpson. Runner on first in Ward. Beeman was at Missouri State this past season. Only played in 25 games. He hit 161 before coming here to Joliet. A little outside. It's ball 1. From Lincoln, Missouri. A little bit southeast of Kansas City. Population of only 1,150. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Beeman strikes out for the second time today. Third overall K by Simpson, and that's out number 1. That'll bring up Ivan Dahlberg. Well, Dahlberg ended up striking out looking at his first professional AB. Still looking for that first pro hit as he fouls one away. Fouled away for strike 1. Dahlberg from Manuka, Illinois, which is just southwest of Joliet. So the family didn't really have to go too far. Grounder into center field, and there is professional hit number 1 for Ivan Dahlberg. They're definitely going to want that baseball. Simpson going to toss it over into the dugout.
That's Ivan Dahlberg's first hit. With the Slammers, let's hear it for Dahlberg.
Oh, it's good to have your first hit as a pro with the family in the stands, so big congrats to Dahlberg. Does put first and third, though, with 1 out for Kadon Morton. Morton grounded out to short in his first at-bat of the day. Now his runners at the corners with 1 out. Yo 1. A little low on the fastball. It's 1-1. Morton was a 19th round draft pick in the 2019 MLB draft by the Braves out of high school. He went to Juan Sagan High School, originally from Arlington, Texas. Called a strike, inside edge there. It's 1-2. Top of the lineup on deck here for Joliet. Battipaglia stands not really near the on-deck circle. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Big out number 2 for Simpson as he gets Morton swinging. His 4th K of the day, and that's out number 2 in the bottom of the 4th. Big challenge here, though. You got to get Battipaglia out. Runners at the corners now with 2 down in the bottom of the 4th inning. Runners in scoring position. Battipaglia hitting .333, 12 for 36. With 8 walks and 10 strikeouts. Runner at first was going in Dahlberg for a pitch. Grounder to short. Jones flips to second, and Simpson gets out of it. The 4th inning is over. Had first and third with 1 out, and Garrett Simpson was able to get out of the jam. The Otters keep the lead 4-3 as we hit the 5th on the Otters Digital Network.
But in my book, the most exciting thing that can happen on a soccer field is a shootout. Fans, are we ready for a little soccer shootout? Are we ready for a football shootout? All right, very good. Well, if you can't already see where this is happening, get your eyes checked. Right outside the Slanders dugout, we got 2 goals, 2 goalies, and 2 kickers. Oh, we got a little game plan going on. Like this. Now here we go. Hunter, Tanner, Kyle, and Chris. Whenever you're ready, folks. All right, we got our first penalty kick on the way. Take it away. All right, then again, we dribble towards more of a hockey style kick here. Oh, and wide right. Oh, Benji kicks it back. Lachlan, and another kick by Ken Sudo. All right, here we go. Second attempt. Blocked. 2 blocks by the goalies. I will say it's a massive advantage for a goalie if you're twice the height of the goal. We come almost through the 5-hole. And wide right. I think the goalies on the team are going to win this one. We'll give you about 1 more try here, everyone. And that's just a full stop, everything from our goalies. Let's hear it for the whole soccer situation down there.
5th inning brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Bottomless apps are now here. Dine and only. Visit either Evansville locations. 5405 Pearl Drive and 715 North Green River Road for details. Otters still up 4-3 here in the top of the 5th. Dennis Pierce will lead it off against Ryan Daly, who's back out there. It's Pierce, Brown, and Gonzalez, the first 3 in the 5th. First pitch called a strike. It's 0-1. Now Pierce is 1 for 2 so far today. Has a single in the first. Popped out to Sudo in shallow right field in the 3rd. Fouled back. It's 0-2. 6 strikeouts for Daly, but has given up 4 runs now. 3 of them coming in the top of the 4th inning. A little low. The Daly last season, between his time with Illinois and Joliet, was with the, and hold your breath here, Thrillville Thrillbillies. Grounder over the leap of Daly, over to second, throw on to first from Cerny is in time for out number 1. Well, luckily, Cerny was able to get in front of the bag. It looked like it was getting close to hitting it, but he ends up catching it right behind second base. Throwing it over to first for out number 1. Logan Brown now up. He is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts today. Yes, the Thrillville Thrillbillies. That is a real team in Thrillville. Where is Thrillville, you may ask? I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. Slow roller over to second. Cerny, a little easier for him this time. He'll throw it over to first for out number 2. They're in Marion, Illinois. So I don't know if they call it Thrillville or what really goes on there, but it's a little bit southwest of St. Louis. It's actually closer to Evansville than Joliet. Thrillville Thrillbillies. Well, he had a .39 ERA in 23 innings with Thrillville, which is mostly the reason why he got that professional contract. You have a good summer season, all of a sudden you're playing your second season for the Joliet Slammers. 2-1 against Marcos Gonzalez after back-to-back grounders at second base. 2-1. That's down the line. A fair ball. It's going to get over to the bullpen of Joliet. Marcos Gonzalez heading into second base. And he's got himself a double, his first hit of the day. That one just stayed fair as it rolled over the turf bullpen of Joliet. Gonzalez into second base. And he's got double number 10 on the season. Robertson will try to bring him in. He got a single in the fourth, ended up coming around to score on the Castillo 2-run homer. First pitch is called a strike. I feel like Robertson's been getting a lot of those outside strike calls. The 0-1 from Daly is called strike 2. Robertson will call his hitter's timeout. Well, before Illinois last season, Daly spent 4 seasons at St. Francis, which St. Francis is here in Joliet. They play their games here. Foul tip into the glove for strike 3. And Robertson strikes out for the second time. 7 Ks for Daly as we are halfway home here at Dooley Health and Care Field, 4-3 Otters on the Otters Digital Network.
The city of Joliet here with us normally, but right now we got the social butterfly coffee here with us in the Joliet suite. Thank you. Up there we have golf construction. Thank you for being here with us. Welcome. Hospitably. Hospitably, that's fine. Yeah. David Robertson and company here with us. A happy 60th birthday, Julie Marzano. Happy birthday, Marissa Greenwood. Happy 7th birthday, Ryan. Celebrate responsibly, Ryan. We got Jackie's friends. I hope Jackie was invited. Jackson Creek DOA. We got the Jackson Deer family. Rock One Collection. Check out what they got. The Ryan Ward Fan Club.
Frontier League Network, powered by Home Team Network, is the exclusive home of every Frontier League game this year. Head to EvansvilleOtters.com to sign up today and get a front row seat to every Otters game this year.
Joy Baseball League.
And you can enjoy Otters baseball in a time where the Otters are winning a lot of baseball games. If they win today, they have already as many wins as they did last year in July at 3. And all it take was 3 days, 3 games. Garrett Simpson out there for another frame. There is some movement in both bullpens, actually, but no one really throwing quite yet. Cerny, Barry, Valera leading off the 2-3-4 guys in the 5th inning against Simpson. Starting off with Tyler Cerny as another firework goes off in the distance. We're going to be so much more of that in tomorrow's game. Tomorrow's game is at 6:05 as we celebrate the 4th of July here in Joliet. Last game is at 1:05 on Sunday. Before an off day, and then 3 against Gateway. Fun little 6-game road trip before a 3-gamer at home and then the All-Star break. Inside, it's 1-1 to Tyler Cerny. Cerny was at Kentucky this past season, hit .333, only 28 games, but still very solid in the short sample size. Swung on and missed, it's 1-2. First professional season after that year. Kentucky finished 33-23 this year. Ended up actually winning 2 of 3 against the Evansville Purple Aces at Evansville. So the series against the Otters wasn't the first time he went to Evansville to play baseball, and he's been hitting the ball well against the Otters. He's 2 for 2 today, doubled in the first, singled in the third, scored both times as well. Grounder over to the Otters dugout. Remains at 2-2 here. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Otters. 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Slammers. As the Slammers named after the prison, the old Joliet prison that is, I think, I think it's behind left field, a mile or two behind left field. Oh, what happened at first? Dennis Pierce is in some pain, I think, over at first base, or something happened over at first with Dennis Pierce. Not too sure what it was. Wasn't really paying attention to first base over there, but all I heard was a couple of oohs and ahs, and then Dennis Pierce had his hands on his knees. Not too sure what happened with him. There's a trainer coming over to help out with him. A trainer on the Slammers also waiting over there as well. Ron Biga in the background as well. So we'll have a little bit of a delay here as something happened with Dennis Pierce over at first. It doesn't look like a specific injury. It looks like there was something in the face area that the Otters trainer is working on. Maybe something with his eye. Zooming in a little bit on the camera here. Might have been something with Pierce's eye that is causing him issues over at first base. Well, looks like Pierce is going to be all right over there at first base. Oh, bit of a weird situation over there at first base. Fly ball into shallow left center field, and Lynn Scott will make the catch for out number 1. So after the delay, first pitch, fly ball into center field. Cerny is out number 1 in the 5th. First pitch from Simpson. High chopper to second. J.J. Cruz will throw to first, and that's out number 2. So it took one pitch to get that second out in the bottom of the 5th. And that will bring up Jackson Valera.
Number 14, Jackson Valera.
Valera from Valencia in Venezuela. It's recently announced by the Frontier League that they were going to start a fund to help with the people who were involved in the earthquakes in Venezuela. Back on June 24th, a couple of earthquakes struck Venezuela, and hopefully, everybody who is at least here in baseball okay, and their families are all right. It was a 7.2 and a 7.5 magnitude earthquake, 2 of them. It's very, very scary situation in Venezuela. So the Frontier League ended up announcing a relief fund a couple days ago and hoping that they can get some money to help out people that have been affected by those earthquakes down in Venezuela. Ball 4 as Valero will walk. Second walk issued today by Simpson. And there's a runner on first with 2 outs for Cam Sudo. Sudo is 0 for 2 today as a fly out to center, grounder to third. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Sudo, 23 years old from Marietta, Georgia. Kennesaw State last season, as well as the Coastal Plain League. Wilmington Sharks, not a very interesting collegiate summer league name. Fly ball into left center field. Lynn Scott is right there, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. We're through 5 here in Joliet. Otters still hanging on to a 4-3 lead on the Otters Digital Network.
We got 2 teams of 2 Kelly Patties, Garland and Sienna lining up. They're going to toss pizzas, their frisbees, into pizza boxes. Their pizza boxes. Team that catches the most frisbees wins. Now on the left side, looks like we are filling her in on what a frisbee is. That should help. All right, on your mark, get set, toss those frisbees. Oh, that's a toss I've never seen, and I absolutely love the 4 frisbee toss to the right. Oh, we're catching. We got 2 caught. And we're just dunking some socks into some boxes on the left side. Just straight dunks. We got 4 catches on the right. 4 dunked pizzas on the left. My friends, that's how you do it. You make the game work for you. Let's hear it for all of our contestants, and thank you to Samino's Pizza. We down for the second. We can get back to baseball. Now batting, left fielder number 6, LG Castillo.
Top of the 6th inning, Otters lead it 4-3. Ryan Daly out there for another inning. He'll face off against LG Castillo first. Then Cohen Wilbanks and JJ Cruz, the bottom 3 in the order, leading off the 6th inning. There's 2 guys warming in the bullpen for Joliet, as it looks like after that solid scoreless 5th for the Otters, Garrett Simpson might get the 6th as well. Carlos Soto is warming in the bullpen for Joliet. There's another one crushed into deep left field. Second homer of the day for LG. A monster blast for LG Castillo, his 5th of the year, his 2nd today, and it is 5-3 Otters in the 6th inning. He becomes the 3rd Otter this season with 2 homers in a game. TJ Salvaggio had 2 on May 28th against Gateway. Marcos Gonzalez had 2 on June 2nd against Mississippi, and now LG's got 2 today. Grounder to first, Sudo will take it to the bag himself. And Wilbanks is out number 1.
Now batting second baseman number 17, J.J. Cruz.
The 3U for people scoring at home. JJ Cruz. They're playing Cruz. They are doing that. Honestly, shout out to whoever's running the music at Joliet, because it does make sense. It does make sense. There's a base hit into right field for JJ Cruz. He's 2 for 3 today. Back-to-back at-bats with a single for JJ Cruz in the 9 spot. Back to the top of the order. And I think that might be it for Daly, as Mike Pinto comes out, and he will make the change. So Carlos Soto will come into the game. Ryan Daly finishes his outing. Unable to get through the 6th, gives up 5 earned, and is responsible for the runner at first. Otters, a 5-3 lead. We'll take a quick break on the Otters Digital Network.
Now pitching, number 38, Carlos Soto.
For everybody watching on Home Team Network, you see JJ Cruz there with Billy Easley behind him. JJ Cruz's single took Ryan Daly out of the game. For now, if JJ Cruz does not come around to score, Daly will finish with 5 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. If this score holds, he would get the loss, and Garrett Simpson would get the victory, as he has gone 5 innings as well. New pitcher into the game is Carlos Soto. Soto is on the mound, as this pitching change is brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or give them a call at 812-4759-K. Soto pitched in one of the 2 games against Evansville back in late June. 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, no strikeouts on the 23rd of June against the Otters. Overall is a 5.25 ERA in 12 innings. 14 hits, 7 earned runs, 6 walks compared to 5 strikeouts, and he's given up 3 homers. So watch out for the long ball. First pitch is called a strike to Sam Linscott, back to the top of the order for the 4th time. JJ Cruz on first after the single, his second of the day. Slow roller to short, flip to second for 1, on to first. Linscott gets there safely. And the fielder's choice gets out number 2 as Cruz is out, but Linscott reaches. That's the second time that Linscott has reached on a fielder's choice today. That will bring up good old Lamani Jones. Monty Jones 0 for 3, but he did bring in a run on a ground out in the 3rd inning. First pitch is called a strike. Monty, even with the pitching change, still batting from the left side against the righties. Linscott now on first with 2 outs. 7 for 9 on stolen bases. Swing and a miss, it's 0-2. In the dirt going is Linscott. No throw as he'll take second base. Linscott, not even a glimpse. Saw that it was in the turf, decided, no, I'm going. And it worked out in his favor. Ends up taking second base. Now he's in scoring position with 2 outs. 1-2 to Jones. Soto looks back to second a couple times, kicks and fires. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Soto strikes out Amani Jones to end the frame, but LG Castillo hits his second homer of the day. And the Otters have a 5-3 lead heading to the bottom of the 6th on the Otters Digital Network.
This time we're doing a relay. The way this works, our teams are got to dribble through cones, score a goal, tag their teammate and have a run back to the finish line. Little skills competition, if you will. That's speed, agility. That's all I know about soccer. All right, my friends down there in purple, are we ready to play? Looks like we got a big yeah. On your mark, get set, go! All right, they're gonna circle that cone. Now they gotta pass it to their teammate who's gotta score a goal. Oh, we got 1 goal. We gotta tag your teammate. In the tag. We've got a stall number 0. The flag has been run. Do you have to carry the flag back or just grab the flag? All right, we got our winner right there. Let's
6th inning is brought to you by United Fidelity Bank, the experience you need and the service you deserve since 1914. Otters lead at 5-3 in the bottom half of the 6th inning as Garrett Simpson is back out there, but the Otters are finally going to have somebody warming in the bullpen. First guy is looking to be Nolan Phoebe. Garrett Simpson threw a scoreless 5th inning. He's actually thrown a couple of straight scoreless frames as more fireworks go off in the distance. Patrick Ward leads off. All 3 of his at-bats have led off innings in the 2nd, 4th, and now the 6th. Ward, Beeman, Dahlberg, the top 3 in the bottom of the 6th. The first pitch a little low and away for ball 1. Patrick Ward is 1 for 2 today. Grounded out to short, then singled in the 4th inning. Fly ball into center field. Linscott is under it. Waiting for it to come down, and it comes down into the glove for out number 1. Nice and easy first out for Garrett Simpson. And that will bring up Jackson Beeman. 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Beeman is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts so far today. There's a base hit, though. It's going to get all the way near the corner. Might be extra bases for Beeman as he'll head into second base with a double. Jackson Beeman has himself a double. First hit of the day for him. As the Slammers have a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Ivan Dahlberg. Max Peterson is going to come out there. And day might be done for Garrett Simpson. It will be. Nolan Thebe will come into the game. The double ended up being the end of the line for Simpson, but if this score holds, he will be in line for the victory today as he goes 5 1/3, responsible for the runner on second, but for right now, 5 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. As Nolan Thebe will inherit that runner, we'll take a quick break on the Otters Digital Network. Nolan Thebe into the game for the Otters. He has a 2.93 ERA in 30 2/3 innings. Pitched 1 game of the Washington series back on Wednesday. He pitched an inning, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, and a strikeout. Still is having a phenomenal season out of the bullpen, getting the majority of the high leverage opportunities for the Otters. Ivan Dahlberg will lead off here as he was the first guy to, or he got his first professional hit in his last at-bat. First pitch will miss a little low for ball 1. Dahlberg singled in his last at-bat. First pro hit after striking out, looking in the second. He's 1 for 2. Wonder if we'll see both of the new signings today for Joliet, as that one's called a strike. More fireworks are going off. Feel as though half or the majority of the time I can hear them, but I can't see them. One one. Swing and a miss. Makes it 1-2 against Dahlberg. He's down in the count here after already striking out. He hit 224 with Northern Illinois. It was mostly a very good defensive catcher. When he was behind the dish, lowered NIU's ERA from highest in the MAC to fourth lowest. That NIU team ended up making it to the NCAA regional this season. They went 36-19, went 4-0 in the MAC conference tournament. They beat Western Michigan, Miami of Ohio, and Toledo twice. That was at Forefront Field, by the way, home of the Lake Erie Crushers. Made it to the regional. 1-2. Foul tip into the glove for strike 3. So first K for Thebe and a big out number 2 with a runner in scoring position. Caden Morton now up. Every strikeout for Otters pitching has come to the bottom 3 in the lineup, Beeman, Dahlberg, and Morton. Morton has one of those. 2 for Beeman and now 2 for Dahlberg after that one. First pitch a little high for ball 1. Morton spent last season with the Washington Wild Things, hit 275 in 36 games with them, 2 homers, 18 RBIs, and 14 walks compared to 34 strikeouts. Throwback to second base is not in time as J.J. Cruz was waving to get Jackson Beeman back into place. Take a look at the replay here. Immediately going over to second base, and I think Beeman might have saw it in his peripherals, ended up getting back there safely. 1-0. Little high in a way for ball 2. Morton has had a little bit of a weird career. He was a pitcher in 2024, but he was a hitter in 2023. So I think he tried pitching for a year and then realized he wanted to go back to hitting. Absolutely painted, by the way, on that pitch by Thebe. Makes it 2-1. He was with the Augusta Green Jackets in Single A in 2024. Had a 6.88 ERA in 35 1/3 innings. His only full-time season as a pitcher. That was after in 2023, though, he hit 173 in 80 games. Best season was in July. He hit 267, including homering in back-to-back games on July 28th and the 29th against the Asheville Tourists. 3-1 here to Morton. Grounder to third, bobbled by Gonzalez. Going to try and recover. Throw to first is not in time. Gonzalez, after the bobble, ended up making things close, but was not able to make the play at first base. So the first error of the day for the Otters, and it's now first and third with 2 outs for Ian Battipaglia at the top of the lineup. Beeman advancing to third now with Morton reaching on the error. First pitch a little outside for ball 1. Battipaglia 0 for 2. Did walk in the third and came around to score. Has a chance to at least get a run back here in the bottom of the 6th inning. High fly ball is going to go foul. That's getting out of the stadium. Foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. And it's 1-1. Thebe trying to get out of the frame here, not scoring that run from third. There's a base hit into right center field. 1 run will come in. First to third is Morton as an RBI single for Ian Battipaglia. The throw gets away, and Morton will come in to score. So that ties the game. An errant throw Ends up getting past Dennis Pierce. Brings in 2 runs, and we're tied up at 5 here in the bottom of the 6th.
We got a tie ball game. Let me hear you, Joliet. Now batting for the Slammers, second baseman number 12.
So all of a sudden, 2 errors in this inning and a couple hits have tied the game up. Now the go-ahead run in scoring position for Tyler Cerny, who swings and misses for strike 1. So the inherited run scores as well as the run that came in on the air. Pretty sure both of those runs, though, are going to be unearned. 1-1 here to Cerny. Cerny is 2 for 3. Double, single, and a fly out to center. A little outside. It's 2-1. Battipaglia over at second base. Calling it a single for Battipaglia. Does bring in those 2 runs. There's a throwing error that was charged to Amani Jones. That ends up bringing Morton home and advancing Battipaglia to second base. And both of those runs will be unearned, so Simpson finishes his day with 3 earned runs given up. Just misses outside for ball 4, and Cerny will take the walk. 3 walks now given up by Otters pitching, and 2 on now with 2 outs. That will bring up Blake Berry. First pitch to Berry is in the dirt. Throw to third is not in time as Battipaglia will take third. Taking second is Cerny, and now the go-ahead run 90 feet away with 2 outs. One 0 here to Berry. Called a strike. It's 1-1. Blake Berry today has a double, 2-run double in the 3rd inning that brought Joliet's lead to 3-1. Overall, 1 for 3 on the day, though. 1-1 pitch is called strike 2. Another one painted by Phoebe. Battipaglia at third. Cerny at second. Ended up singling in the 4th run, and then the tying run came in on the error. Trying to keep things tied up. Phoebe kicks and deals the 1-2. There's a grounder over to second base. Throw on to first is in time for out number 3. And that will do it for the 6th inning, but the Slammers end up tying the game up on Battipaglia and a couple of errors. We'll head to the 7th, 5-5 on the Otters Digital Network. Top of the 7th inning, Joliet has tied the game back up at 5 after a couple of mishaps on the defensive side by the Otters. Now a chance to possibly get a lead back here in the 7th against Soto. Swung on a miss for strike 1. Looks as though the home broadcast in Joliet had their camera on with the mascots in the background. The mascots were just in my doorway trying to distract me. I was not going to let them win. No way, Jose. So I did not give them the time of day. Dennis Pierce so far is 1 for 3. One is called strike 2. 1 run in the first for Joliet, 2 in the third, 2 in the sixth. For the Otters, 1 run in the third, 3 in the fourth, 1 in the sixth. 2 homers from LG Castillo have been the main source of offense. He's driven in the majority of the runs today for the Otters. Little away, it's 2-2. 5-5 here in the top of the 7th inning. Soto, this is his first season, at least that I could find, since 2023. Last season in college at Benedictine Mesa. That one's just outside. Trying to frame it was Dahlberg, but didn't get the call. Makes it 3-2 here against Pierce. Only 1 walk given up by Joliet pitching today. There's a base hit into center field. Dennis Pierce leads off the 7th with a single, as he's now 2 for 4. Good way to lead off the top of the 7th. I'll bring up Logan Brown, who is 0 for 3 today. Couple of strikeouts and a grounder to second base. Definitely due for a base hit. Usually gets a base hit. I think he has some flies in his face as he shows the bunt, and the out is recorded at first base. It'll advance Pierce to second. Well, Logan Brown, while good at hitting the ball, especially for good average, very good at the bunts as well, as we've seen him do a few squeezes to bring in a run from third. That one just advances Pierce to second base as they're playing the Mario Kart music here for Marcos Gonzalez's walk-up song. I feel like Marcos Gonzalez is secretly good at Mario Kart. Do we agree? The audience, this is my question to the audience. We haven't done that in a while. Do we think Marcos Gonzalez is good at Mario Kart? Fouls one off himself. And it's 0-2. I feel like he could secretly really crush it in Mario Kart. The guy on deck, Blake Robertson, he seems like a guy who would be good at Mario Kart as well. He's a competitive dude. So, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Gonzalez goes down swinging on 3 pitches. Second K for Soto, and that's out number 2 in the top of the 7th inning.
Right fielder number 31, Blake Roberts.
That'll bring in Blake Robertson. Has 2 strikeouts, but singled and came around to score in the 4th inning. First pitch a little low for ball 1. Soto at Benedictine Mesa in 2023 at a 6.75 ERA and 18 2/3. Didn't really play too much in college. Most playing time he got was in 2020. Shortened season with the Southeastern Fire. They're just called the Fire. 3.13 ERA in 23 innings. He pitched in 7 games. Couple starts, couple not. Little outside. It's 3-0. Well, Robertson, along with the hitting streak, has also gotten a lot of walks as of recent. I think the bugs are kind of bothering everybody now. Soto swiping him away. Saw Dennis Pierce at second base swiping him away. Swinging 3-0 was Robertson, and he fouls one away. Makes it 3-1. Robertson has upped his average all the way to 280 during this hitting streak. That's going to get away from Dahlberg, and taking third base is Pierce. Taking first base on ball 4 is Robertson. And there's runners at the corners with 2 outs for LG Castillo. Possibly a chance to get his third homer of the day. We'll see. We'll have a little bit of a mound visit here for Joliet. The mascots are back in my door frame. Just keep on looking straight ahead, and they will go away at some point. Mound visit here with the entire infield. LG Castillo has 2 homers today. He's driven in 3 runs. Also has a strikeout in the second inning. He hit a homer in the 4th, 2-run shot, then a solo shot in the 6th. We haven't seen an Otter hit 3 homers yet in a game this season. So, chance here for LG to make a new season high. Not too many guys this season have hit 3 homers in a game. LG Castillo is striking out at a 6.7% rate, a little bit below league average, but also below league average in terms of the strikeout rate, which is 24, the league average, which feels like a lot. He's only at 17. He has a good amount of power, and he's been showing it here today. That last homer going 4-14. The mascots have gone away, and we win again. Oh, they're on the other side now. Uh-oh. Can't let them win. I know they're there. I see them. I got peripheral vision. Not going to look at them. Not doing it. They cannot make me. First and third. 1-0 pitch from Soto. Little low and away. And it's ball 2. Maybe a little scared to pitch to Castillo. I think I'm being surrounded now. They have 2 mascots, and both of them are on either side of me now. Not gonna do it. Not happening. That one's called a strike, and it's 2-1. Castillo now has a hit in 4 straight games, 5 of his last 6. 2-1. Little away. It's ball 3. Walk would load the bases for Cohen Wilbanks, who does already have a grand slam this season and has been hitting the ball well recently. Does already have a hit. He's 1 for 2. 3-1 is called strike 2. So Robertson over at first is going to get a head start. 3-2 here with 2 outs. Pierce at third. 90 feet away from giving the Otters the lead back. All tied up at 5 here in the top of the 7th inning. It's been a good close game between these 2 squads. Payoff. Swung on and missed strike 3 as Castillo goes down swinging. Soto is able to strike out 2 and get out of the frame scoreless. It's time to stretch here in Joliet, still tied up at 5 on the Otters Digital Network. Bottom of the 7th inning. At this rate, it says on the weather app there's isolated thunderstorms, so I don't know if in the distance I see lightning or fireworks. And that's a little scary. But we're still playing. Nolan Thebe back out there for another frame. The Otters had a chance to get the lead. They had runners at first and third with 2 outs, but LG Castillo struck out to end the frame. And we are still tied up at 5. It's Jackson Valera, Cam Sudo, Patrick Ward leading off in the 7th inning. And, well, the Otters are trying to get a scoreless frame here before we head into the 8th. Another offensive frame for Evansville to try and get the lead back. First, you got to get the job done defensively and on the pitching side. 2 runs scored. Both of them were unearned to tie the game up for Joliet on a couple of errors, one by Marcos Gonzalez, one by Amani Jones. As we do have somebody warming up in the bullpen for Joliet. Jackson Valera leading off here. Through a little bit of a delay. Let's take a look at who is warming in the bullpen. That is number 39, Ben Catrambone. So Ben Catrambone is in the bullpen right now for the Slammers. Most likely going to get the top of the 8th inning. First pitch a little inside for ball 1 as a firework just went off right behind the batter's eye. Could have thrown off Valera, honestly. And there's lightning. I think I'm starting to tell the difference now. Second pitch a little high. It's 2-0. A little worried about the rain coming our way. I don't know if it's going to be staying back or coming right over us, but it is, there's some dark clouds out there as Valera gets hit. Looked like in the ribs with a fastball, and he is down. Trainers are going to come out to check on him. Valera is now down. We'll see if he stays in this one. It looks like he's pointing at his ribs, though. Looks like that's where it hit him, right kind of on the upper, near the chest area. So we'll have a little bit of a delay here. Nolan Thebe does pitch inside a decent amount to righties. There are a couple of times where it's just a little too inside, and that was unfortunately one of those times. Never anything on purpose, though, from Nolan Thebe. He's one of the nicest guys ever, so he would never do that. Valera's up on his feet. With this delay, we'll take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard, as it looks like Valera's going to be okay. Gateway's beaten Quebec, shutting out Quebec 4-0 through 5.5 innings. Schaumburg is losing now 8-6 against Washington in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-3 tie between Florence and Mississippi. Brockton is beating Tri-City. Other way around. Tri-City's beating Brockton 14-2. This is a 7-inning game. They're in the 5th right now. Down East is up 15-5 on New Jersey. Ottawa's beaten Sussex County 4-1. New York ended up beating Troyes 5-3. And then Brockton won game 1 of that doubleheader against Tri-City. Not looking likely that they're going to win the second game. Well, with all the lightning in the area, let's take a look one more time at the weather app. It says there's heavy rain going on right now, which, at least for right now, here is not true. The clouds are getting darker, though. The saxophones are getting louder, and there's lightning nearly right above us. So we might have a delay soon. We'll keep on keeping on, though. Cam Sudo is up to bat. after the hit by pitch of Valera. There's now somebody warming in the Otters bullpen after the hit by pitch. Sudo will take a strike. It's 0-1. See who's in the bullpen right now. Looking like Joe Morrissey in the bullpen for the Otters. That one will miss, and it's 1-1. More fireworks going off. That is called strike 2. A lot of lightning, no rain though so far. That will miss, and it's 2-2. Runner on first and Valera, nobody out here to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Joliet trying to take the lead back after they had it in the 3rd. That was a big lightning strike behind center field, as that is outside for ball 3. It's 3-2. Payoff pitch here from Thebe. As that will miss inside for ball 4. Now back-to-back free passes given up by Nolan Thebe to start the 7th. And 2 are on here with nobody out to lead off the 7th. That'll bring out Max Peterson. See if he makes the change here to Morrissey. Mound visit bringing in the entire infield. Max will make the change. Nolan Thebe out of the game, responsible for the 2 runners on right now. And Joe Morrissey will try to keep him from scoring and giving Joliet the lead. We'll take a quick break as the Lightning keeps on going here at Dooley Health and Care Field. Joe Morrissey will step into the game to try and get out of this jam here. 2 on, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Patrick Ward is to be the first batter that Morrissey will face off against. Morrissey has a 2.7 ERA in 13 1/3 innings. Showing bunt already here. We'll drop it down back to Morrissey. Morrissey's throw to first is in time, over to Cruz. So successful sacrifice bunt moves the runners to second and third. Now 2 on in scoring position with 1 out for Jackson Beeman. Now Jackson Beeman, more lightning right overhead. Rain still is yet to start coming down yet, though. Infield all the way in here as the first pitch misses outside for ball one. Morrissey pitched on Wednesday. He threw 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. 1-0 pitch. Little high on the fastball. It's 2-0. Walk here would load the bases for Dahlberg. Be probably the biggest situation of his pro career in his 1 game. 2-0. That is inside for ball 3. A big flash of lightning there behind center field. As we continue on. Mixture of lightning and fireworks lighting up the sky right now. As that is ball 4. 4-pitch walk will load the bases for Dahlberg.
Jackson Beeman with the walk, and that will load him up. Now batting for the Flanders catcher.
Well, already a huge spot here for Ivan Dahlberg in his first professional game. He got his first pro hit out of the way, so that might cool the nerves a little bit for him. Valera at third, Sudo at second, Beeman at first, 1 out. First pitch called a strike to Dahlberg. The 0-1. That's going to get past Wilbanks. Not far enough, though, to advance the runner from third as Valera didn't even attempt to try and go home there. Didn't get too far away from Wilbanks as he had a good reaction time getting to that one. Definitely would have been out by a couple steps. 2 strikeouts and a single for Dahlberg today. 1 for 3. 1-1 from Morrissey. A little high. It's ball 2. Nowhere to put him here. A walk brings in that go-ahead run. Not the right spot here to be unable to locate. Morrissey, though, only 4 walks compared to 13 strikeouts. So he has done good at limiting the walks, as is the entirety of the Otters pitching staff. 2-1. Good breaking ball. Hits the zone for strike 2. Trying to get a big out number 2 here. Maybe roll a double play ball. Morrissey kicks and fires the 2-2. Outside, ball 3. Dahlberg. Chance to have a big moment here. 3-2 with 1 out, bases loaded. Joliet getting out hit, but a chance to take the lead. 3-2. It is ball 4, a little high. And that will bring in a run. And Andy McCauley just got tossed from the game. Instantly, Andy McCauley got tossed after the entire dugout was thinking that was a strike. It was a very close pitch. Trackman says it was a strike. But it's been a very interesting strike zone all night. Andy McCauley still out there and still chatting. He's already been tossed, so he doesn't really have anything to lose right now. Getting all up in the face of Jacob Waldrop. 4 free passes, 3 walks, and a hit by pitch have brought in the go-ahead run for Joliet. As Andy McCauley got his piece, and he'll head to the clubhouse early So Max Peterson will take over yet again. TJ Zarowitz will be the third base coach over in the next offensive inning, top of the 8th. The umpires, I think, are still waiting for McCauley to get into the clubhouse before they continue the game here. Joliet takes the lead.
And we are back to baseball. Now batting for the Slammers, center fielder number 4, Caden
So
Morton.
base is still loaded, and Caden Morton will step in. He reached on an error, ended up coming around to score in his last at-bat in the 6th. That run will be earned to Thebe. Chance to extend the lead for Joliet. First pitch is called a strike, and it's 0-1. Morton overall is 1 for 3. Morrissey now responsible for everybody on base. There's a pop up into right field. Robertson's under it. He'll make the catch. Tagging at third is Pseudo. Here comes the throw. It's cut off. As a sac fly from Caden Morton puts the Slammers up by 2. It is 7-5.
7-5 game. Come on, let's get out. Now batting for the Slammers, shortstop.
Pseudo coming in from third. No advance, though, from Beeman or Dahlberg at first and second. As it's back to the top of the lineup in Ian Battipaglia. Joliet getting out hit 10-8, but leading the runs department now 7-5. There's a base hit into center field. Rounding third is Beeman. Here comes the throw. It is not in time. Battipaglia makes it 8-5 as Joliet now leads it by 3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Now batting for the Slammers, second baseman number 12, Tyler Cerny.
Max Peterson will come out. There's nobody warming in the bullpen, so this is going to be just a normal mound visit here. Morrissey has come in and allowed both inherited runners to score, as well as bringing in a run after he walked Patrick Ward. It's been a rough one here for Morrissey. There is somebody warming in the bullpen for Joliet. As more fireworks and lightning go off in the background. Two runs have scored in the 6th, 3 here in the 7th, and Joliet, who were down 2, now find themselves up by 3 after few free passes the Slammers are able to take advantage of. First pitch to Cerny. There's a grounder over to third. Throw to first is in time for out number 3, and that will end the 7th. The Slammers score 3, and they break the tie. Now lead it 8-5 as we head to the 8th on the Otters Digital Network. Ben Catrombone is into the game here for Joliet to face off against Cohen Wilbanks, J.J. Cruz, and then the top of the lineup in Sam Linscott. Catrombone is currently at a 3.74 ERA in 21 2/3 innings. He'll face off here against Wilbanks. First pitch is high for ball one. Joliet scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. 4 free passes, 3 walks, and a hit by pitch, then a sac fly, a single by Battipaglia has brought the lead to 8-5 Joliet here in the top of the 8th as Andy McCauley ended up getting ejected after we'll call it a interesting ball call to bring in the go-ahead run. Looks like we will see Nate Wolgamuth in the bottom half of the 8th. He's warming in the bullpen right now. That is if the rain subsides. 1-0. 2-1 from Catrombone. Fouled away off to the left side. 8th inning brought to you by McMahon Exterminating. Remember who can help with all of your pest control needs. McMahon can. Two-two here to Wilbanks. Catrombone very first base side of the rubber on the turf field in Joliet. Another one fouled away off to the left side. Another opportunity for one of those kids to get a foul ball out there. Catrombone, 24 years old, from Western Springs, Illinois, suburb of Chicago, so in the area. You got 3 Frontier League teams to choose from in the area: Joliet, Windy City, and Schaumburg. Swung on and missed for strike 3. And Catrombone strikes out Wilbanks to start off the top of the 8th. Strikeout number 11 for Joliet pitching today, as that'll bring up J.J. Cruz. This is the most times, tied for the most times, the Otters have struck out in a game. Another one into the lawn in left field. Foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. The only other time the Otters struck out 11 times was on opening day against Florence. And well, we ended up throwing a no-hitter, so it didn't matter. So, you know. 0-2 quickly here against Cruz. Catrombone. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And that is now the most times the Otters have struck out in a game this season. Number 12 for Joliet pitching. Back to the top of the order, Sam Linscott up. Linscott up for the 5th time. He's reached 3 times, 2 fielder's choices and a single. Single brought in a run in the 4th inning. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Catrombone pitched yesterday through 2 scoreless innings against Lake Erie. Did that as well on Tuesday. Has 11 scoreless outings, has a strikeout in 11 of his 16 this season. That one's ripped foul off the netting. And it's 0-2. Catrombone trying to strike out the side here in the top of the 8th inning. Oh, 2 here to Linscott. Fly ball into right field. Going back is Barry, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning for Catrombone. 2 strikeouts, one of Wilbanks, one of Cruz. As we will head to the bottom of the 8th inning. 8-5 Joliet on the Otters Digital Network. Bottom of the 8th inning here in Joliet. Lightning still flying throughout the skies as well as the fireworks, as 4th of July is not going to really be any different. Tomorrow we start at 6:05 instead of 6:35 here in Joliet before a 1:05 Sunday game. The Otters, if this score holds, will try to even the series tomorrow. They have 3 outs to try and get 3 runs, and that is with Joe Morrissey throwing a scoreless bottom of the 8th. They'll face off against Barry, Valera, and Sudo as 8 batters came to the plate in the 7th inning. 3 of them ended up coming around to score. First pitch to Barry is called a strike. Morrissey out there for another frame as that one's fouled back. Oh, that was a very interesting foul ball. It hit off the corner of the roof, almost knocked somebody out in the first deck. A little outside, it's 1-2. Barry's in his 5th season with the Frontier League. 2nd with Joliet. He was here last season at 231 in 83 games. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And Blake Barry strikes out to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. That's the first strikeout from a slammer not in the bottom 3 of the order. Morrissey will just face the one batter as Max Peterson will come out, take the ball from him, and we'll see the return of Nate Wogemuth as we will take a quick break here on the Otters Digital Network. Welcome back to the Otters. Nate Wogemuth, he is back in an Otters uniform wearing the number 36 as he is coming off of a 2026 starting with the Asheville Taurus in High A with the Astros organization. Ended up getting released almost a month ago and is back here with the Otters for his 2nd season. He started here last season, had a 2.25 ERA in 8 innings. He was the closer during the early stages of the season. Perfect 4 for 4 in stage attempts, save attempts. Got a save against Florence his last outing, 9-8 victory against the Yalls before getting his contract purchased by the Astros on June 11th. That was one of the 99 players to get their contracts purchased by an MLB organization. And he was the first Otter to have his contract purchased by the Astros in specific since Ben Paxton in 2009. Jackson Valera will be the first guy facing off against him. Here with one out in the bottom of the 8th, he fouls one back to the netting. It's quickly 0-2. Valera got hit in the ribs with a pitch by Nolan Phoebe. His last at-bat was in some pain, but ended up staying in the game. 0-2. Grounder up the middle. It's going to get into center field for a base hit as Valera sneaks it under the glove of Wolgamuth and through the middle for a base hit. I'll bring up Cam Pseudo. Runner on first and one out. First pitch is fouled over to the Otters dugout. Makes it 0-1. Pseudo 0 for 3. Did walk in his last at-bat and came around to score one of the 3 runs that Joliet brought in the bottom of the 7th. 0-1. Skied foul off to the right side. It'll get out of play. Lands on the roof. 0-2 here against Pseudo, just like he was against Valera. Grounder down the third base line this time. Remains at 0-2. Wolgamuth from Owasso, Oklahoma. A little bit north of Tulsa, Oklahoma. 25 years old. A lot of lightning that time as it gets some oohs and ahs in the crowd. And swinging and missing for strike 3 is Pseudo. And Wolgamuth has his first strikeout back as an Otter. It's probably the most lightning we've had in one go. And that one brought some shocked faces from the audience here at Dooley Health and Care Field. Patrick Ward with a runner on first and 2 outs here in the 8th. As that swung on and missed for strike 1. Oh, another big one there. Still have not had any rain yet, which is crazy considering the amount of lightning that has been going on the past, 4 innings? 5 innings? That'll get past Wilbanks, and taking second base is Valera. Starting to hear a lot more thunder now. Before it was just lightning, and now we're getting some noise. Noise that isn't just the fireworks, of course. 1-1 pitch. Fouled back to the netting, and it's 1-2. Ward so far today is 1 for 4. Singled in the 4th, his only hit of the day. Led off the 2nd, the 4th, and the 6th innings. 1-2. Called. Strike 3, and Wolgamuth strikes out 2 in his return to the Otters. Finishes off the scoreless frame that was started by Joe Morrissey. As Barry, Pseudo, Ward all down by way of the K. We'll head to the 9th. Otters need 3 to tie, 4 to take the lead on the Otters Digital Network. Top of the ninth. And coming in to try and get the save is Casey Odell. And Casey Odell is becoming a little bit of a closer role for him and Joliet. He has 2 saves already this season. Both of them have been in the last week, 26th against Washington and on Wednesday against Lake Erie. Monty Jones, Dennis Pierce, Logan Brown leading off here in the ninth against Odell. And Lightning still going crazy along with the fireworks. Monty Jones is 0 for 4 today. 3 grounders and a strikeout as that one's fouled away. Otters down 8-5 here in the top of the ninth. A little low. It's 2-1. Odell, 23 years old. He's now 24 years old. His birthday was the day after the series. Bat goes flying again for Amani Jones over near the Slammers dugout. Well, that has happened a multitude of times for Amani Jones this season. He's wearing batting gloves this time. He usually doesn't, but this time he is. So we'll have a little bit of a delay here to try and... Oh, I guess we're getting a whole new bat for Amani Jones. Maybe that one a little too slippery. 2-2, though, as he will make his way back to the batter's box. Odell will get a warm-up pitch in. And we're ready to go here. 2-2, nobody out in the ninth. First season in professional ball for Odell was with Florida Southern this past collegiate season. 2-2 a little inside. And 92 on the fastball is through 1 1/3 scoreless in his last outing. Grounder off the bare hand of Odell over to short, throw on to first is in time. And that's out number 1. So technically 1-6-3 on the ground out, as that one did go off the bare hand of Odell. That'll bring up Dennis Pierce with nobody on and 1 out in the top of the ninth. That was a close firework. Basically one across the street. They're setting him off early here. Whoa, first pitch high and inside to Pierce. He had to duck away from that one. And it's 1-0. 1-0 pitch is called a strike. Odell 3.57 ERA in 35 1/3 innings for Florida Southern, which is in Lakeland, Florida. Called strike 2, lower half of the zone. Odell originally from Gainesville, Florida. Signed back on June 16th. In the dirt, or in the turf, it's 2-2. Has yet to give up a run in 6 1/3 innings so far this season. Two-two. High this time on the fastball. It's a full count. Pierce is 2 for 4, 2 singles, 1 in the first, 1 in the seventh. Already another multi-hit game for him. Trying to get on here with 1 out. 3-2 pitch is high for ball 4. So Pierce will reach for the 3rd time today. It's only the 2nd walk issued by Joliet pitching. And there's a man on first with 1 out for Logan Brown. Pierce on first. First pitch to Logan Brown is fouled away to the left side. It's getting really loud now. Logan Brown will head to the dugout and get himself a new bat. Logan Brown 0 for 4 today. A couple of strikeouts, a couple of grounders as well. Has Pierce at first with 1 out. 0-1. Check swing. Did not go around. It's 1-1. 1-1 here from Odell. Is a base hit into left field. Logan Brown has his first hit of the day, and that will bring the tying run to the plate in Marcos Gonzalez.
Now batting, third baseman at number 2, Marcos Gonzalez.
Now Gonzalez, home run ties the game. Did hit a homer yesterday against Washington. Drove in 4 runs as well. Has 2 homers in his last 5 games. That one's in the turf, and it's ball 1. Otters still finding ways to fight here in the top of the 9th, as they usually do. 1-0. Another one missing. Ball 2. Walk loads the bases for Robertson. 2-0 pitch is high for ball 3. Walk loads the bases for B-Rob. A little bit of a sticky situation here for Odell. 3-0 pitch is called a strike. Big firework there. 3-1 is popped up foul. Hits off the roof. It's 3-2. 3-0 to 3-2 here. Odell trying to get that big out number 2 and avoid any more base runners here in the top of the 9th. 3-2 pitch is called strike 3. And Gonzalez goes down looking. That's out number 2 in the 9th.
Omega with the flush. Casey Odell with the strikeout. And we got 2 outs in the 9th. Let's hear you slam or slam. Now batting, right fielder number 41, Blake Robertson.
Blake Robertson, the last hope here for Evansville in the top of the 9th as Odell tries to get his 3rd save of the year. First pitch is high for ball 1. Robertson is 1 for 3. A couple strikeouts, a single. Came around to score in the 4th. He walked in the 7th. That's called a strike right down the middle, and it's 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Check swing. He did go around, and that is strike 2. Otters now down to their final strike here in game 1 of the series. One-two pitch from Odell. In the turf. Good block from Dahlberg, and it's 2-2. Odell kicks and fires the 2-2. Roller over to second base. Cerny will throw to first, and that'll do it. The Joliet Slammers win game 1 of the series. Final score of 8-5 as the 3 runs in the 7th inning proved to be the difference. And the Otters drop game 1 of the series. They are now 29-18 on the year as they'll have to wait until tomorrow if they want to get their 30th win of the season. That was a bit of an unfortunate loss for the Otters today. Andy McCauley gets ejected, and the Otters unable to come back from down 3 in the 7th to at least tie the game, possibly take the lead in the 9th, as Casey Odell gets his 3rd save of the season. And Joliet moves to 21-26 with the win today. Now moving to 10-14 at home this season as well. The Otters will head back to the hotel, look to regroup for tomorrow, and, well, we'll say this. They lost game 1 against Washington in the last series, and we saw what happened after that. So, hoping that that same thing can happen here today, or at least, I guess, tomorrow in game 2 and on Sunday in game 3. Either way, the Otters are now 10-11, back under 500 on the road this season. As the fireworks go off, we have a 6:05 start tomorrow. Not 6:35, it's 6:05 here for the 4th of July, so we hope everybody will tune in for game 2 of the series. The Otters will try to tie things up at 1 apiece. Fireworks going off here. No more lightning, as we survived the game without getting any rain. Somehow, I don't know how. Oh, there's the lightning right there. But we will see everybody back here tomorrow as the Otters try to even the series up. 8-5, Joliet takes game 1. For everybody here in Joliet, I'm Evan Patoka. We'll see you in about 22 hours.